Very dear good friends, okay, just before I'm making this video, I've talked to a friend of mine which is veteran, and I'm learning a lot from him. He's a real good man to speak with, okay. You have the gratitude also that you have my well-being doing these videos, because as I said, I spoke to a friend of mine that I keep calling bro all the time, because every weekend I'm calling him, and we're talking a lot about Mr. Trudeau. We're talking about things that are going on with the federal government, and we're talking about our province, and we're basically talking just about everything. I would like, if you can, you send me your phone number, and you can be sure I'm going to be calling you. I don't need to call the federal government, because you all know that that government is corrupt, and Mr. Trudeau, I hate to say that, but you're a dictator, okay? You are a dictator because you keep doing things that only want you to do it, you know? You're not asking your ministers to do on your name, because, you know, it looks like, it just looks like if you don't trust them, you know? And this has been proven by watching the news at the TV, or I'm watching you, Mr. Trudeau, every day that you're talking in the Chamber of Commons and on CPAC, you know, on CPAC you can see, I can see you all the time talking at the TV in the Chamber of Commons. I can see you all the time lying, you know, with the SNC Lavalin, you have been cheating, you have been lying to people, you know, because now you kept telling people that you save it because of the jobs, of the 9,000 jobs that are supposed to be there that you wanted to save. But I am extremely sorry, Mr. Trudeau, but the corruption, the collusion is there, okay? In my previous video, I have explained you things that were doing, or things that had been given to the son of Gaddafi, and that's corruption big there, because the son of Gaddafi, you know, Mr. Gaddafi was a dictator, and that's a son of a dictator, you know. So SNC Lavalin, they gave all kind of sort, like not an airplane, but I mean a yacht, condo, hotel, they give it to that man. But do you think that's good? I don't think so. Mr. Trudeau, you should go straight ahead of you, because when you look on sideways, you know, you're gonna have all kind of people right beside there. You're gonna have all kind of fucking Islamists there, but you have to think that yourself, you are an Islamist, and you should not be managing our country because you're an Islamist, and you're giving the Islamists all right to come to Canada. And whenever they come here, you give them the Canadian citizenship, which is no good, because, you know, they're not Canadian, they don't have their Canadian birth certificate here, because they were born in their own country, and they come here to be a Canadian citizen. And but the thing is, they don't get along with us, because they have their own laws, okay, like the Sharia. You want the Sharia, you're saying that the Sharia is compatible with the Canadians, but I'm very sorry about that. It is not compatible with the Canadians, because the Sharia is pure crap, pure shit. I don't like the Sharia myself, about what they're doing into that fucking thing. You know, the Sharia, basically we might have some of the law from the Sharia over here in Canada, but we did not really to want it, you know. It was up to you to decide whether or not it was good to have them in Canada, but it is your fault if we are stuck with them right now. You know, before we did not have any problem with Muslims, but today we have all kind of problem with the Muslims, because you wanted it, and right now you're stuck with it. Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Trudeau, but it is the truth. I kept telling myself that I hate the Muslims. Okay, it is the truth. I hate the Islamists, because I keep looking at what they're doing in the Middle East, or in Syria, or in Africa, with Boko Haram and all kind of people. They like to kill Christian. I am a Christian myself. I was born Catholic, but since there is no longer Catholic things in my where I was living there, I'm a Christian. And being a Christian, I can go in the English church where they sing big time, and I love that. You know, I love going there because it's totally different than Catholic, but it just about looks like Catholic because they pray God, and we have a God. We're gonna stay with God, and we're remaining with God because God is up there, okay? And Jesus Christ, you know, he was sent by God on the earth, tried to make the peace, but he was not able to do that because it was too much. When Jesus Christ died, he died with our bad thing we had in mind. Well, the PT is there, but you know, it's totally different because the Islamists, they have Allah, or they have Allah, okay? And Allah has also a guy that came on the earth who was called Muhammad, okay? Muhammad was comparing to Jesus Christ. It's just about the same thing, but with different name, okay? With different name. And when you look about the religion, like Catholic religion, you can see God walking in the desert with a fucking only a white rod, a white thing on himself, and it was dirty. But if you look at the Vatican, you can see the Pope there with gold on him, big gold, and the Vatican is rich right now. But you know, God didn't want it because he went in his temple and there were sellers with money on their table, so he just pushed the table like this. He said, hey, you won't do it because this is my house. You won't sell things in my house. You won't make money in my house. But you know, it was like that. But today it's not like that, okay? Because Mr. Trudeau, you keep going on in the mosque near Toronto, Ottawa, okay? You keep going there to bring peace. But since you are Prime Minister, Mr. Trudeau, you keep giving them money for their mosque or their religion, whatsoever. But the thing is, you don't do fuck all for us, Mr. Trudeau. We have veteran homeless all across Canada, you know, and you're giving money to the Muslims, okay? You have bought trailers at the frontier, in Lacolle. You have bought trailer to put in Lacolle in order to keep Muslim inside in the heat instead of being outside. But you don't consider that you have veterans that are homeless, okay? It's all about us, veteran, you know. I know, Mr. Trudeau, you don't like veteran. Same thing as Mr. Andrew Scheer in the Conservative. You don't like veterans. There's only one reason for it. It's because our country, or Canada, has to pay a pension to the disabled veteran, and basically they don't like it, but you have to, because it was done by Minister Borden long time ago, and you cannot destroy it because it was done from Prime Minister of Canada, and usually Prime Minister of Canada, whether it's before or after you, they cannot, like yourself, you can't destroy what Mr. Harper did. And if Mr. Scheer enter at your position, Mr. Scheer won't be able to think that you have done. But the thing is, as for the UN Pact, he can always say that, okay, Canada is out of it, okay, Canada is totally out of it because we're going to have control of the immigration. But as far as I'm concerned, you have destroyed that, okay. Quebec, Mr. Legault had decided to get not 50,000 but 40,000, but the good 40,000 people, and you didn't like it, so you decided to send the UN Pact. So that destroyed the thing that Mr. Legault had done in Quebec, like to get 40,000 instead of 50,000. So I thank you so much for getting these videos, and there will be more to come. Bye bye. Have a nice